Yaddle Chattle.
It's a Star Wars podcast flying through the galaxy. And it is going to be an action-packed episode full of wonder and excitement. We have a lot of topics ready to go today, and we do not have a lot of time to waste. My name is Darth David, number 1 Sith. He's Jedi Jared. What's he doing?
Nothing.
Is there going to be a lot of phone checking today?
No.
Because I feel like you came in a little bit weird. I'm going to try not to give you a hard time right off the bat. But since you've been here at the house, you've said 0 words and checked your phone 85 times. Not exactly the best method to get ready for a Yaddle Chattle. Are you... I'm just asking kindly. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. Are you doing a drug deal right now?
Oh.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because I feel like the way you're nervously checking the phone. Is someone about to kill you?
No.
Are you worried about an assassination attempt of any kind?
No, I'm fine.
Jedi Jared, by the way.
Hello.
Did I give you your introduction?
Yes, you did.
Okay. I need more out of you today.
Okay, you got it.
Now what we gotta do is get right in front of the mic.
I am right in front of the mic. I'm talking right into
Try
the mic.
hard
I'm looking at
to
you
look at me in the screen.
in the screen.
You know, we're only 62 episodes and over a year into this fucking show. But you're still trying to figure out, the good old-fashioned podcasting 101 things. That's what's interesting about you. Hey, quick question. Can Jedis get brain damage? Because I'm pretty sure you have it.
Okay, thanks.
There's the phone. Just tell me what you're checking the phone for.
I'm trying to... You can see... I see what you wrote down here.
Let's just get rid of all of your phone topics so that we can have a proper show. And because I want to enjoy myself, have fun. Are we doing a show next week? You said something about July 4th.
No, the 4th is fine. It's the following week.
So we are doing a show next week.
Yeah, we could do a show next week.
Oh, okay, fantastic. All right, I thought you meant we were going to take off July 4th week.
No.
We can do July 4th week. We can't do the week after that.
The week of 10.
Okay, so we will be here July 4th week. That's exciting. So let's do your phone topics.
The reason why I was
because
you're
checking
because I didn't see you I probably should have just checked the link that I had sent you was the big story the big rumor that's come around.
Talk to me. What's the big rumor? Let's go.
The big rumor is
Jared. We're gonna call this Jared Phone Topics. Phone topic number 1. No, you just pick it up. Pick it up the way we talk.
I'm going into the link.
That's it, baby.
Never mind.
I know, but people need to see that beautiful Jared mouth at the microphone. Otherwise, they can't hear your wonderful words.
According to the internet,
yes,
this is from Cosmic Book News, but I feel like we've cited this other guy before. The Acolyte. Now, I don't believe this at all because they've already finished production with it, and Disney's been hemorrhaging money anyway. But anyway, they're saying that this person's claiming, and the guy's name, the YouTuber is named Doomcock. And I think we talked about this guy last time. And
what did he say?
That the Acolyte's been soft canceled.
The Acolyte's been canceled.
Yes, they refer to it as a soft cancellation.
Okay, what does that even mean?
That they're just not going to release it.
Into the mic, baby. You're killing me.
What? I
just don't look at me. Look at the screen.
So
I love you.
And they're saying that
basically. Be a professional today. Today I want no more me telling you to talk into the microphone.
I am talking to the microphone.
It's obviously getting on my nerves today, and I really came in a very pleasant mood. But you can't keep looking to your fucking left or right because your words aren't picked up on the fucking microphone. It's a fucking easy concept to fucking understand. Okay? Now proceed. Go ahead. Proceed. Kathleen Kennedy.
They're doing a soft cancellation. They said that the showrunner has been fired from Disney/Lucasfilm. And I just don't believe any of this.
Well, so the source that we're going by is by the name Doomcock.
So it's a YouTuber named Doomcock.
So Jared,
and then the guy who's leaking the information is known as a Hollywood writer and producer, Cameron Pasha. But I feel like we talked about this guy last time with that that other rumor we talked about that was going on about was it they were gonna there's something with Indiana Jones, or was it something with Kathleen Kennedy?
I know, but the guy's name is Doomcock.
Yeah.
Okay, so in other words, I'm not going to take this seriously in any way, shape, or form.
But
A,
it
you
was,
said YouTuber, and then B, you said Doomcock.
Yes.
And so because of that, we have to do this story?
Well, no, because it was.
There's 8 goddamn zillion shitty-ass fucking YouTubers out there who say stupid shit.
It was trending on Google.
What, that the Acolyte's been canceled?
Yes, it was trending yesterday. That's why I sent it to you.
Well, it has not been canceled. I reached out to my source, Jermaine Lassier, who says it has not been canceled.
No, I said to you, we should talk about this, but we should.
That's what we're doing right now.
Incredibly spectacle.
So I reached out to my source, Jermaine Lassier,
and he said,
"Total bullshit."
I believe it.
So there you go.
Okay.
I mean, what I'm trying to get to you is, don't be so scared by YouTubers, especially ones named Doomcock.
No, it's just that there was something we should talk about. Is this?
No, I hear you.
Misinformation campaign to just, I don't know. If you don't like something, don't pay attention.
Well,
to it.
I mean, it's very confusing right now in Star Wars. It feels like there are some Star Wars fans who want the series to die or to end. They're just still so upset about the sequel trilogy and things like that. But at the same time, you shouldn't want, if you are a Star Wars fan, you shouldn't want the franchise to suck. You should want it to be good so that they make more good Star Wars movies and shows. But as far as this goes, look, would it be shocking if something like this happened? No, because Kathleen Kennedy now has a history of making announcements and not following through with them.
I mean, I wouldn't cancel a show that's they announced at Celebration that they've
done that before. The Rangers of the Republic.
Well, I guess that was, I suppose, there was no controversy really behind this whole series. I mean, they got rid of Rangers of the Republic, but they also got rid of the star, and they Gina Carano, and they completely have written her out of all Star Wars now, instead of even remotely recasting her or doing what they did with James Gunn, which was let everything die down and then let them go back to doing what they're good at. So I don't know, but like they announced it, but this thing is done production. It's like they finished wrapping it. The only time I could ever they finished wrapping. They wrapped the
they've shot the Acolyte?
Yeah, it's shot already.
Are you sure about that? Don't go to your phone, because if you do, I'm gonna have to beat you over the head with it. But I'm not sure if they're done filming Acolyte. Where did you hear that? You
got to think that they've got to do all that post-production.
So you didn't hear that? You're totally fucking bullshitting right now.
No, I saw it on Reddit.
Oh my God, you suck.
Well, because this post was on the.
Again. Star Wars fans, Yaddle Chattle fans, should see me as a saint.
Because what? You're going to fire me?
No, but you come in with, these are your sources. YouTuber named Doomcock, and quote, I saw it on Reddit. Reddit, Jared! The most fucking bullshit place in the universe!
No. Well, I'm not going to quibble. I told myself
I know, but the point is, Jared, well, what are we doing here today?
I think that
Reddit and Doomcock. And
you're obsessed with this Doomcock guy.
You're obsessed with him. You fucking brought in the story.
Dude, it was trending on Google. I literally opened up Google to start searching for news stories on Star Wars. And before it even, that's how fucked up Google is. Google popped this up for me and was like, Acolyte,
I know you're a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, because I search it every week. Acolyte soft canceled ? And I'm like, well, I guess I got to click on this because clearly Google knows I like Star Wars and it's a trending fucking thing.
Well, it's not happening. It's total bullshit. The Acolyte's on schedule. It's coming out. I do not think they have wrapped up shooting. That seems very much like total BS that Jared just decided to make up and throw out there. Because no.
But they knew, first off, they knew that writer strike was going to happen. So they can't rewrite anything.
First of all, the Jude Law movie and Andor, the Jude Law show and the Andor shows are all coming before the Acolyte, or are all being shot before the Acolyte, so you know.
Well, I thought that the Acolyte, they were already in production. Like, I've seen stills from the Acolyte, right? I know the Jude Law show is supposed to come out before the Acolyte, the Skeleton Crew, but I was under the impression that the schedule was Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, and/or season 2.
I don't know. But in other words, this whole first topic is all, shitty.
Okay.
Let's go into Kathleen Kennedy says Rey Skywalker movie and James Mangold movie will have connective tissue.
Yeah, no shit, it's in the same universe.
How do you think that will be possible when the Mangold movie is supposed to take place 25,000 years basically before the Rey movie? How is that? How are these two movies going to tie up in any way, shape, or form?
They take place in the same galaxy. That's it.
No. She's saying there's connective tissue between these two movies, that they're going to be linked. They're using the words linked and connect. They're going to be connected.
Do you take anything that she says seriously?
Right, but I'm asking you to play ball with me.
Okay, I'll play ball
and
with
see if you can deduce a way through creativity of how these two movies are connected. I'm asking you to have a fun Star Wars debate, which is what we've been doing. Let me ask you a question real quick. What happened? Did you get up early this morning? What's going on today? I can always tell when you're having some sort of weird ass fucking Jared mental breakdown. What happened today? Did you have to get up early today?
No, I'm up early every
day. Did the boss, was he giving you a hard time?
No, none of that.
Clients?
No.
Okay, what happened today?
I'm just dealing with a lot right now.
Okay, I want to have sympathy. Or is it empathy? I always get those two confused. Regardless, I have empathy.
Okay.
But what's going on?
I'm just going through a lot right now, and I'd rather not talk about it.
Come on, talk about Yaddle Chattle. Can't get your dick up?
No.
Let's, diabetes?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
So far, it sounds like the fucking world is great.
Yeah.
No diabetes and no dick problems.
Works. Okay, I guess. No.
I mean, that's all I'm trying to say is you gotta look at the world glass half full, Daddy. Just because I'm a Sith doesn't mean I can't have some fun.
It's really hard. It's hard to look at the glass half full when someone always continues to drink out of your glass. So.
Who are we talking?
We're not going into this.
Not naming names?
I don't want to talk about my
former friend, or former coworker?
None of that. We're not going to talk about this. So let's talk about connective tissue. I'm guessing that it'll be the lineage of Rey.
The lineage of Rey, like 25,000 years ago?
Yeah, like Palpatine.
So first Palpatine.
Like Palpatine's line.
Okay. I think what we're going to see is some brand new shit with the Force itself, and then Rey will be able to use those kind of Force powers in her movie. Ugh. So, like, the Force can maybe make people begin to teleport or some shit. And Rey's going to figure out how to Force support. That's teleport with the Force, in case you didn't know.
No, I get that. I just think that anything they're going to put, if this is what she's saying, she's trying to, like, we need to make, so what I'm getting at is, and let's play off your theory for a little bit, that they're going to try to introduce all these Force powers that maybe, like, went extinct, and now Rey's going to be able to tap into those Force powers.
Yes.
Then, basically, instead of making a good movie, they're just making Rey like the ultimate Jedi type of thing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make for like a great movie. You
gotta be careful, because it's almost the problem that sometimes people have with Captain Marvel, which is just like she seems like, or even Superman, it's that when someone's so invincible, it's kind of like not that fun. I mean, Captain Marvel can literally turn herself into like a nuclear missile. I don't see any way she could ever be defeated. Ever.
Well, technically, in the comic books, the X-Men.
This ain't Marvel Chattle. Get your fucking head screwed on straight, for Christ's sake.
I'm
for the rest of the episode. I don't give a shit about Marvel. I give a shit about the Yaddle. and the Star Wars, Daddy. So, I think that's what's going to happen with the Ray James Mangold thing.
Well, then you should if that's what's gonna happen, you should be very fucking scared, because they shouldn't focus on connective tissue. They should just focus on if they
Make good movies.
Make good movies. Like, they're not like we're making a new trilogy. They're like we're putting out 3 films that take place in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
One is
They keep forgetting that. It's amazing how much they keep forgetting just to simply make a good fucking movie.
You know,
That's really the simple thing that Star Wars has. See, Kathleen sometimes forgets here and there. Just make a good fucking movie. It worked for you with Rogue One. Just make a good fucking movie. I'm in agreement with you.
Again, you know, I've my Facebook feed now, because I get a lot of articles. If I happen to click on one, they're basically sending the same exact one again. So I've seen so far, yesterday was Mel Brooks' birthday, so I keep seeing different
Spaceballs.
just different people posting happy birthday to Mel Brooks, like different like.
Yeah, but is it? Are you going into Spaceballs?
No, what I was gonna say is, I occasionally see stuff on Star Wars,
Oh.
and it's usually shitting on Kathleen Kennedy, and it's like, I understand that the social media is what's causing all of this, actually, but, like, I always make the same argument I make here, is that a win for her is a win for us, but every time she says shit like this, every time she talks about
I
the
know
Rian
she's
Johnson
causing
trilogy,
people to lose confidence in her. I was someone who was who would defend Kathleen Kennedy, but when I saw the how the movies are going to be released and just some of the same mistakes, and I really don't. I'm very, very unsure about the decision to give that movie to Ray.
I just don't see, like, she's not saying,
don't know.
we're focusing on making quality films that are going to make you feel like harken back to the original trilogy.
I hope
she's
I'm
not
wrong.
saying any of these things.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a news article, she's saying something incredibly fucking stupid, like these 2 movies are going to have connective tissue. Of course they are. They take place in the same cinematic universe.
And she also says things
like they're dealing
that
with the same
people
themes.
like Doomcock and Jedi Jared will run with, which is, she goes, with Ray, we're almost looking this as like a brand new launching point. It's a brand new chapter, and so because of that, people thought, are we going to be getting, Roman numerals and shit like that? As if, to me, that's not important.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just one thing after another continuously makes me lose confidence in someone like, at this point, she should be a maestro. Like, she has so many great credits that it makes me wonder, what was she doing? Now, some people have made, like, the really off-color comment that she was just getting coffee and stuff like that. I think she's a great operational person. She understands, like, how to manage people and how to get things done from a pragmatic approach. But creatives don't necessarily operate that way.
I know. No, there's a difference between being a producer and being a storyteller. And, a lot of these producers in Hollywood like to think of themselves as quote-unquote filmmakers and storytellers, when they're more business. Some of them are more business people. There are absolutely some producers who do get engaged with the creative part.
Like when Spielberg did Back to the Future, he read their draft and he's like, powered by Pepsi.
Right. Robert Zemeckis directed Back to the Future.
Yeah, but a lot of the creative input, like getting
Sure.
the car, like all of that stuff, was Spielberg's feedback that helped enhance the storytelling. Like, the whole plot was more or less the same, but how do we make it like punching it up? Like, that's what, like, certain producers can do. They can take something and make it better. And then there are other producers that just get shit done.
I got it.
But I feel like she shouldn't be making creative decisions. Like, she should just be like, all right, I'm going to hire all of these people because I know that they're competent and they're really good at what they do. But I'm going to let the creative person decide who's going to get the script approval, like, who's going to hire the director, like, whose vision, and then I'm going to make sure that it gets done.
Just as long as these movies are good,
But we're not
It's that
hearing
simple.
We're not hearing that. Like, that should be the focus coming from everybody at Lucasfilm. They should be like, we're focusing on making great movies. We want people, like, you know, we want a Top Gun-like experience. We want to say that, like, this is something that's going to be a top-grossing film, that like the event type of thing, but like a legit...
They need it.
They need it.
They need it. They haven't had a big-time movie in a while. I mean, listen, you know, between the last three of Episode 9, Solo, and Last Jedi, they can't say that they were pleased with the reception and even with the money. I know Last Jedi got close to $1 billion. Maybe I think even made over $1 billion. And, you know, but those three movies, I mean, Solo was a box office bomb. Episode 9 was polarizing again. It's time to get a fucking big-time Star Wars movie going here and have people excited. That's why my whole thing was, I don't know if Rey's going to do it for you. Because listen to this. At the end of the day, you know, like I said last week, she's the face of the sequel trilogy. If you had to boil it down to one character, it is Rey. And if the sequel trilogy has now been panned by a lot of Star Wars fans, not all, but a lot, we can fairly say a lot. Do you want that face out there this soon? I don't think you do. I think this is a mistake.
So the last Star Wars film came out in
2019 was Rise of Skywalker.
So we're looking at 6 years now between the last Star Wars film and this new Star Wars film.
Right, and I would even say 2016, Rogue One was the last good Star Wars. You know, I mean, listen, I like the sequel trilogy, but I'm just saying, and I like Solo. I'm talking about what the audiences
like
seem
the
to feel.
last big event.
Yeah, the last one where the audiences, Star Wars audiences, by and large, because everyone is, you know, there's always going to be a few assholes out there that are going to take shots at everything, right?
Yes.
But by and large, the Star Wars fans seem to be into, the critics seem to like, and it made money. You got to click those three boxes. And I think Rogue One was the last one we saw. That's 2016. So now, by the time this Rey movie comes, it'll be 2026. Let's not forget, since they pushed that back. It's going to be a full-on decade.
Seven
this
years.
Rey...
No. Well, I'm thinking 7 years from Skywalker, sorry.
Yeah, 2016 was Rogue One.
So it'd be 10
the
years.
last good, the last one that didn't have controversy attached to it because of either fans or box office or critics was Rogue One 2016. So it's going to be a 10-year period between, you know, the last really good thing and this. That's a lot of pressure. But we all know that if this Rey movie doesn't hit, Kathleen Kennedy's a goner. She is. You know that Iger's not going to stick around. So this is her last shot. That's why I think it's gutsy. It's controversial for her. But let's move on from Kathleen Kennedy because I'm starting to get sick and tired of her.
Okay.
Well, just like her name, the face. Did you know that the freaking Mandalorian Season 3, the Star Wars Gallery is out?
No, I
just came out.
I've never seen, and then they don't promote it on Facebook.
See?
Or any kind of, I follow.
You really live online, huh? You've given shout-outs to YouTube, Facebook, and Reddit today.
Well, that's where you get a lot of information from. I don't. Is there a Star Wars channel I'm missing that does all Star Wars news all the time?
Why don't you go to Disney Plus and see the, you know,
I go to Disney
latest
Plus.
fucking thing section.
It didn't have that when I went on Disney Plus last night.
Very good.
Because I was
Did you check this morning?
No, I had to work. And we watched Daniel Tiger in the morning. We don't watch Bluey in the morning.
What are these fucking names?
So you like Mr. Rogers, right?
When I was 5,
So
what kind of madness are we descending into?
Daniel Tiger
How
is the
much
continuation.
sleep did you get last night?
Would you let me explain? I was getting my child ready for school. We give her a bottle and watch Daniel Tiger, which is the continuation of Mr. Rogers. It's an animated
Yes,
show.
that's fine.
What's the problem?
Why are we talking about this?
Well, because usually Bluey's on Disney Plus.
I want to talk about Star Wars.
Well, let's talk about Star Wars.
How many hours of sleep did you get?
I got a full night.
So this is you looking up. Sometimes you make me laugh. This is you rested?
Can we just move on with Star Wars, please?
Princess. Okay.
You were talking about Mando Gallery 3.
Will you watch it so we can talk about it next week, please?
Yeah, sure.
You promise?
Yeah.
I will say this, Jared. Season 1 of Mando got an 8-part Star Wars gallery about the Mandalorian. Then Season 2 got just 2 measly parts. Season 3 of Mando, 1 goddamn episode that's 50 fucking minutes long. Is that a bad sign?
What, of diminishing returns?
Or just passion?
Well, you gotta also...
Do they, like, is Disney themselves, is Star Wars themselves still into this fucking show?
I mean, we talk about how Disney's hemorrhaging for money, so now you've got to pay to produce a whole thing when...
Wow, man, 8 goddamn fucking episodes in the Star Wars gallery for season 1.
But you also got to keep in mind, it was like, that was the anchor show for Star Wars on, like, live-action Star Wars television.
If you're going to give me 1 episode, you got to make that behind the scenes an hour and a half.
How long was it, a half hour?
I'm not kidding. I said it was like 50 plus, just over 50 minutes if you don't include the credits. That's come on.
Well, remember, we didn't get a gallery for Andor.
No, I agree.
Or any kind of
I don't think we ever will.
We got one. It was the Warrior, the Jedi Returns type of thing.
Yeah, I mean
for
the other specials are all now just 1, so I get that. I just thought Mando was different. Other Mandos, they've given us multi Star Wars galleries, and now we get the 1 Star Wars gallery for Mando season 3. All right, just letting you know. Some people notice things like this, and they go, "Huh? Guess Mando isn't. Guess Disney doesn't give a shit about Mando as much, or at least Lucasfilm don't give a shit about Mando. Maybe this is why Jon Favreau starting to seem a little bit pissy. And I don't, I know they tried to dispute those rumors that Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy are just fine and they're seeing eye to eye. I don't believe it. I really don't. I think there's a disconnect between Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy right now. Even though I didn't want to bring up her name again. But I just feel like there's a disconnect between Favreau and Lucasfilm leadership.
I wouldn't be surprised about that because, Favreau can do it all.
Maybe Favreau wants to be ahead of Lucasfilm. Have we thought of that?
Or his boy Dave.
But,
he's
I'm
being
not
loyal
sure
to his
we
friend.
want... I think the best usage of Dave Filoni is the showrunner. Exactly what he's doing for this Ahsoka series. But I think, let's just play this out. Let's play, Miss Kennedy gets fired.
Yeah.
Who takes over? I don't want any part of Kevin Feige because I feel like Marvel's really cooled off. And to me, it's getting an old hitter who can't hit anymore. Favreau could be that guy.
I think what they should do is make like a chief content officer and they should split it so that there's a guy who at the end of the day is like the CEO, but all creative decisions are being made by one person.
Favreau.
I think it could be Filoni.
Favreau.
I think he'd be a better CEO because he can do it all. He could do creative, but he could also be an executive producer. Like he knows like the ins and outs of how to make a movie properly. I wouldn't put that on
Dave Filoni's plate right now. I think he is just learning how to become a live action director. I think all you want Dave Filoni to do is to focus on being a live action director and storyteller. Let him be creative. The point why I'm saying about Jon Favreau is Jon Favreau has extensive producing credits in addition to being a creator and was a guy who was one of the main one of the most important guys in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that created that mosaic of movies to create one bigger
and that's why I would say
movie.
Favreau can do that's why I think he should be the CEO. But I think that you look at George. Look how young George was when he did all of this. Like, he wasn't, like, in his 40s or 50s like Favreau or Filoni are. He was, like, in his late 20s, early 30s?
I'll tell you where they fucked up. They fucked up by letting James Gunn get away. That's going to be one of those things that Disney, that is where you fucked yourselves by listening to these stupid fucking people online, the dumbass people who got outraged by some tweet of James Gunn's.
It was all fake, too.
12 years ago or whenever the fuck it was. They fired him. Now, of course, they brought him back.
And everyone's talking about what a great movie that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is.
A, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is great. I saw it. But B, of course he didn't forgive them for that. Nor should he. He said, you know what, because his actors, Dave Bautista and those guys, they all went to bat for him. They said, hey, if James Gunn isn't here,
we're not doing
the movie.
But
that's why he went to DC. Was because, you know what, Disney? Fuck you, I'm out. You stupid assholes. This is why you don't cave to morons on Twitter that mean nothing. Because all people do is complain and bullshit on Twitter, and it means nothing. Stop taking trolls seriously. Stop calling fans toxic. They're not. There are assholes on Twitter that like to fucking stir shit up. They're not real fans. Stop buying into it. And stop fucking kowtowing to every fucking dork who complains about being offended by something. Someone made fucking one complaint about James Gunn, and they fucked up their, I think, their whole Star Wars franchise, not Marvel. Because what did James Gunn just say when he released Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Guardians of the Galaxy 3 happened to come out on May 25th. And he says, well, this is fantastic that this is coming out, or was it May the 4th? Regardless, the point was he brought up Star Wars. He goes, it's great that this is coming out on a day so identified with Star Wars. When I first created Guardians of the Galaxy, I wanted to make a movie the way Star Wars made me feel. Fun, wacky, gross, silly, exciting, different. I'm like, yup. Look at that first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, brother. That could have been a Star Wars. You know it and I know it. That first Guardians movie especially is a fucking Star Wars. It's a fucking Star Wars. And that is the guy that we should have had fucking waiting in the wings. Kathleen Kennedy, get your old ass out of here and let this guy who was a child when Star Wars came out and understands the magic of Star Wars. I don't think Kathleen Kennedy has ever understood the magic of Star Wars. Let's be honest. She's Steven Spielberg's producer, not George's. And the fact of the matter is, she never worked on any of the Star Wars movies. Hey, this isn't all Kathleen Kennedy's fault. Sadly, it's also George's. Because George, you picked the wrong person. But this can't be a fucking Kathleen Kennedy episode. I feel like we've talked way too much about her.
She's at the top. That's the problem.
Fine. We just brought up George Lucas. Brand new screenplay book. A book about Star Wars screenplays by a man named Laurent Bazuro. Okay, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Bazuro, I suppose. Laurent Bazuro says that George Lucas seriously considered having Luke Skywalker resurrect Obi-Wan Kenobi from the dead in Return of the Jedi. That he was not going to bring back or see Obi-Wan as a blue glowy.
As a Force ghost?
That he was going to bring him back. Thoughts and opinions about that?
Well, that changes everything.
That's insane, right?
That he was going to be able to resurrect the dead. That changes everything.
That seriously changes everything. Having said that, I've sort of talked about this before, where I have one way to come up with a new villain. And if someone tries to do just that, they try to resurrect Luke Skywalker, or they try to resurrect Ben Solo, or something like that.
And it goes hardly
but because it's unnatural, he comes out like a fucking evil Frankenstein Sith Lord freak.
It's not a bad idea.
I know, but so I just want you to recognize, I just found out about this story right now. I've proposed that story before for Yaddle Chattle, saying, they could even try to do it in the Ahsoka movie or something, where they try to bring back Luke Skywalker, and then he comes back, or the Rey movie, and he comes back all fucking evil. I'm just saying, that was an idea that I had, but isn't that impressive that me and George Lucas think on the same level?
Yeah, it would have been. That's so weird that they'd want that he thought about. Like, I guess that was a draft at some point.
Yeah, well, listen, he also had the thought of Luke killing Vader and putting the helmet on. It was a thought. He didn't go through with it, of course, but it was a thought. But imagine Obi-Wan Kenobi, a fucking evil, like, whoa, Luke, what have you done? Luke. And then he's fucking evil.
No, I could see that.
Obi-Wan Kenobi with a fucking black robe on? Come on, give that shit to me. Give it to me tomorrow. I want some good guys turning bad. We only got that with Anakin.
Oh, I guess we're supposed to get it with Ben Solo.
Yeah. Not enough.
Not
I
enough.
mean, he was bad first. You know what I'm saying? Now, Captain Rex in Ahsoka, confirmed.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, I had heard that Tamara Morrison had done some shooting for it.
Captain Rex will be in Ahsoka.
Well, it makes sense.
Ahsoka's basically 2 months away.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it makes all sense considering, Filoni's basically said, yes, this is Rebel Season 5.
He's confirmed it. He said this is
Rex,
Rebel Season 5.
And Rex is basically a very, integral part of Rebels.
I got no problem with it. I like it. I like Rex.
I think this is going to be, everyone's going to love this.
I hope so. I think it's... I wonder the audience. Again, if the show doesn't have a big viewership, this is me, Davey Mack, Darth David, saying, why do you repeat the same mistakes? Because does the show sound better called Ahsoka or Star Wars Rebels? Why not just fucking call it Star Wars Rebels? If this is truly Season 5, and that's what Filoni has said, literally.
Because...
Call it Star Wars Rebels!
But the truth is, Ahsoka wasn't the subject of Star Wars Rebels.
Excuse me, Daddy. He says this is Star Wars Rebels Season 5. Don't quibble with me on this one.
No, I'm not.
If it's Star Wars Rebels Season 5, then it's Star Wars Rebels Season 5. Okay?
Okay.
So, it's got nothing to do with she's not the focus or this. Come on. Okay? It's Star Wars Rebels Season 5, says Filoni. Because Andor did not get the viewership that they were hoping.
And you thought
the series is amazing. The series is... I have a strong ass suspicion that the whole fucking reason was because of the title. Because I had this conversation with my brother Mark, who is a casual Star Wars fan. And like we talked about a few months ago, he thought Andor was about fucking Ewoks. See? Also, not every fucking Star Wars, not every person, there's a lot of casual Star Wars fans out there, Disney. So you don't want to necessarily play to the people who have watched this cartoon character. Okay? You want to, give it a cool title. Jeez. Are you with me on that or against me?
I think they should just include Star Wars in it. I think that's part of the problem.
Now,
they automatically assume that if you see a lightsaber or a blaster or anything like Imperial or the logo, they assume you know what Star Wars is. But I feel like they should all just have Star Wars in it. Or a Star Wars, it could have been, like you said, and/or a Star Wars story. Or a Star Wars adventure. It should have it, but I feel like the Mandalorian has kind of set the precedent now where everyone's like, oh, it's not Star Wars The Mandalorian or Mandalorian a Star Wars adventure. It's just The Mandalorian. So people now have gotten somewhat accustomed to just it being the title. I feel like it's hard. It's honestly it's hard to say because the Mandalorians they're big, one of their biggest properties, and it was fine without the Star Wars.
Listen, the Acolyte kind of sounds kind of cool to me. You know, I'm just saying, Star Wars, you got to think about this kind of shit. You gotta think about this kind of shit because the name Ahsoka might not be as big as you think. The fact of the matter is, I know a lot of casual Star Wars fans. I'm constantly telling them to check out Clone Wars and Rebels, but they're like, nah, I'm not into the cartoons, but I like the movies.
I think
I'm constantly doing this with people, and it's like, okay, not everyone knows Ahsoka. And by the way, this isn't me saying the show isn't a good idea. I think the show's a great idea. But here's what I would do. Let me take this away for a second. Ready? Here's what I would do. This is why I'm the goddamn genius. Darth David, would actually call this Star Wars Rebels. And the fact that there's an animated show of the same name, who gives a fuck? You can pretend that that's just prologue. I would call this Star Wars Rebels. A. B, what I would do is one of the best things that I've seen on any Star Wars show was that fucking, I don't know, 5.5, 6 minute flashback or recap of the prequel trilogy before Obi-Wan Kenobi, episode 1. You know, before we got everything off the ground on episode 1, the very debut of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series is what I'm saying. You had that 5.5, 6 minute goddamn recap. It was one of the most beautiful things. I have gone back and just watched that recap multiple times. I think it's one of the best, most beautiful fucking videos I've ever seen. Here's what we're going to do. Ready? You're going to love me for this. You ready to love me?
I'm ready.
Say, I'm ready to love you, Darth David.
I'm ready to love you, Darth David.
I mean, come on. Say it with a little more conviction. Come on.
I'm ready to love you, Darth David.
That didn't seem like a lot of conviction. Wait, I don't need this thing. Jared, here's what we're going to do. Ready? You're going to love me for this, Daddy. We're going to do the same thing that they did in Obi-Wan Kenobi, except we're not going to pull clips for the Ahsoka series, which we're now calling Star Wars Rebels, but we're not going to pull clips from the cartoon. We are going to reenact those scenes live action. Hold on. Before you go fucking crazy, you basically will see Kanan get killed and shit. But think about it like this. You're not going to need like fucking $50 million for this shit. Get Freddie Prinze in the goddamn volume for 2 seconds and have him, something like that, and that's it. You can have Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Darth Maul fucking thing. You can have this, you can have that. The big highlights of the show, Thrawn and shit like that. But again, you don't, and we're going to reenact some of the big fucking moments from the 4 seasons of Star Wars Rebels, but we're going to do it with the actors, live action, and that's going to be the first 5.5 minutes of this series, and then bam, we're off. We're going to meet Ahsoka, and we're off to the races. What do you think about that idea?
So, it just kind of occurred to me right now that the reason why they can't call it Rebels is because I'm guessing that all of this takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Yes, but who cares?
But the Rebels have won, so it doesn't make sense to call it Rebels if they're not rebelling off of anything.
These aren't fucking, hey, literal Jim. They're rebels in their heart. Ahsoka Tano is a fucking Jedi rebel.
I understand.
Fucking Hera has always been a rebellious person. Ezra is a rebellious kid. He's a rebel.
Yeah.
I understand that the term rebel means the rebellion. I understand that. But there are things, Jared, in life called word. It's language. It's like, double-edged sword, double meanings, double things.
No, I understand that.
This is a rebellious crew. These are a bunch of rebels. Whether they're part of the rebellion or not, and they all are, is one thing. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but I think this is to kind of denote that this is taking place after the rebellion. This is going to primarily focus on Ahsoka. I think to counter what you were saying before, that not a lot of people know about it, if they've watched any of The Mandalorian, then they're going to know who Ahsoka Tano is. So even the casual fans like my father know who she is now because they've watched Mandalorian, they've watched Book of Boba Fett, and she's in all of them. So that they have a certain amount of familiarity.
Do they really know her?
Now, here's the other...
she's in a little bit, but do they know her?
I trust Dave Filoni.
By the way, it's not just about Ahsoka. See, you're missing the point here. This is going to be about them trying to find Ezra.
No, I get that.
This is about, what happened to Sabine. This is Thrawn. There's a lot of shit. She's going to see Hera, and Hera's probably going to be a little bit sad because her fucking boyfriend was killed. Those are, we're getting all these characters. So I think it's important for people to see all of that pain and to see fucking Kanan get killed and stuff like that.
We're going to see all of that almost 12 I think it's probably going to take place after, in the Mandoverse, right?
Yes.
So that's 12 years after the Battle of Yavin. So a lot of time's gone by at this point.
12?
Yeah, because it's 6 years is the entire span from the Battle of Yavin to Return of the Jedi. And now we're talking about another 6+ years since the Return of the Jedi to this Mandoverse.
Okay.
So we're talking about some significant amount of time has passed by since there was a rebellion. So my point is that I trust Dave Filoni to do what he does best, which is make Star Wars. And I think that we have had to deal with as fans, have had to deal with a lot of criticism and bullshit that we're kind of scared. I'm gonna think this is gonna be a great fucking show because I've loved everything.
I'm not scared of the show, but you're not. You haven't addressed. Concerns. You didn't address either of my fucking ideas. Okay, the Star Wars Rebels thing you kind of did. What about my flashback idea? That was fucking brilliant.
I think
just address it.
I think they're gonna do flashbacks, but I don't think they're gonna do a montage. I think they're gonna do live action flashbacks because the rumor is that Hayden Christensen had made an appearance. Right. So either he can't be Vader because this takes place after Vader. Right? Yeah. So the only thing that makes sense is it's going to be him as young Anakin being her master.
That's
we're going to get flashback scenes, but I don't think it's going to be one montage.
So my idea, you just don't like my idea?
I just don't think it's going to happen at the beginning.
That's not what I asked. What about my idea? Do you like it or no?
I like it, but I just don't think it's going to be cost effective. You remember, you got to keep all that in mind that they're not going to reshoot those scenes. They might reshoot.
Put them in the outfits and put them in the volume. Again, I'm talking about you could do a close-up of fucking Freddie Prinze getting blinded and shit. This is not this. You don't need. You should be able to be artistic and figure this out. This should not cost a lot of money. I'm literally talking about a 5-minute recap. So these shots of Freddie Prinze dying, or the adventures of Hera, or what happened to Ezra, or Thrawn appearing. We're talking 5-second, 10-second, camera coming in and getting a close-up on the face. I can't see it being that expensive, quite frankly.
Again, I don't know, but I'm just saying we will probably see flashbacks. I just don't see it happening as one long montage like they did in Obi-Wan. That's all.
All I try to do is give Disney good ideas, and then Disney ignores them, and then they put out shit and everyone hates it. If they just start taking my ideas, I think they'd be significantly more successful.
I agree.
You do?
Yeah,
you agree with that?
I agree.
That's surprising. Jon Favreau, meanwhile, says, expect more Order 66 flashbacks with Grogu.
Good. Fuck those people.
Yeah, no, I'm actually happy. I'm actually excited. This is not something where I'm going to go off on some tangent. In fact, thank you, Jon Favreau. One of my many zillion brilliant ideas that I've come up with on Yaddle Chattle is making a whole series, or really mini-series, about Order 66, where we just follow a whole bunch of people. a fucking Jedi over here, a Jedi over there, an Imperial Trooper over there, a squadron over there, the Emperor over here, Tarkin over there, whatever. Because Order 66, in my opinion, is quite frankly maybe the most important day in Star Wars Galaxy history. So much shit happened on that day. Order 66 for me is endlessly entertaining or just interesting. I can't get enough of Jedi Temple. I can't get enough of any of it. For the people complaining about, I don't like Order 66, I'm like, really? That's like complaining about like The Godfather when like the fucking 5 heads of the families got taken out. You know, the guy gets shot through the fucking eye while he's getting a massage. It's like, I didn't like that scene. I prefer more scenes with them making fucking pasta.
I love that scene though. I actually do love that scene.
How come you didn't say to her, I love you with all of my heart. Come here, Michael, let me show you something. Give it.
He's like, you never know what you're gonna have to cook with.
And then Sonny gets mad. He's like, stop fucking around.
Yeah, but he's eating the sauce. I'm not gonna quibble. But I do love that scene. I'm just saying.
But that's my point. Is like, Order 66 has so much richness to it. That you can tell so many stories.
I mean, yeah.
Hell, Visions. Like, if they do another, like a season 3 of Visions, how about doing something unique rather than, you know, I'm going to give a bunch of people, rather than, hey, we're going to allow artists to literally do whatever the fuck they want and usually come up with brand new characters. So and there's not a lot of emotional connection to them.
But let's do
have Visions do Order 66, the whole fucking thing, all 12 episodes. Again, one's from a Stormtrooper, one's from a Jedi, one's from Grogu, one's from that, one's from this.
I would like to see what made the Grand Inquisitor, because the whole backstory on the Grand Inquisitor was he was a Jedi Temple guard. And
during Order 66.
During Order 66.
See? I want to know about that too. So, congratulations, Jon Favreau, for not doing what Kathleen Kennedy and so many other Star Wars professionals can't do, which is ignore and shut out the fucking trolls.
And why were
because there were trolls last year who were saying, "Oh my god,
another
Order 66. Oh my god."
I mean, that was probably one of the highlights of the season. Was that flashback, wasn't it? With Kirian Beck, Ahmed
Fuck yeah! Oh, you're talking about this one, yeah. So
yeah.
we've gotten flashbacks in what? We got a flashback in Obi-Wan.
Yeah, with Reva.
We got a flashback in Mando season 3.
Yes.
There was a flashback in season 2, right?
Well, they do. I know there's a flashback in not flashback, but the Bad Batch. Doesn't it start?
Bad Batch had a great. That's my point.
With Caleb Dune.
Remember, that was the Bad Batch. That was my favorite Bad Batch episode, the very first one, because we got to see Order 66 from a different perspective. And by the way, I recall a lot of Star Wars fans loving that. So it's like these fucking nerds who just want to complain about everything. And I know Jared and I can criticize, but if you notice, at heart, we're actually fans. We want to love. We want it. Speaking of the Bad Batch, they're saying Omega was speaking. They gave her a little, some sort of little statue for a job well done on voicing Omega. And then she said, "Yep, we're gonna begin doing voiceovers for the 3rd season,
Final,
3rd and final season."
Okay, great. So I can't slog for that much longer.
I was like,
they couldn't carry
good
it.
riddance. I was like, every time I see final season of Bad Batch, I get excited. And I'm sorry if you like the Bad Batch. I don't want to rain on your parade. If you like the Bad Batch, go ahead and like it. Jedi Jared and I will continue to watch every single episode and cover every episode.
And call balls and strikes.
But last year, season 2, that was one of the shittiest things I've ever seen in Star Wars history. Are you kidding me? That made The Last Jedi look like fucking The Godfather Part 2. people have an issue with some of these. I'll tell you, I have major issues with the Bad Batch. Major issues. Because that thing stemmed from the Clone Wars, the beloved Clone Wars, which is so fucking great that we're seeing Clone Wars characters now in live action, like Ahsoka Tano and Bo-Katan and Rex. So it's like, ugh. You looking forward to the Bad Batch season 3, or are you looking forward to the season 3 finale the most?
I think I'm looking forward to the Crosshair episodes.
I'm looking forward to the season 3 finale. Can we start with the debut episode and just watch the season finale?
If that's what you want to do, that's fine with me.
You know what we should do? We should watch the debut episode of Bad Batch season 3. Only watch the season finale, and then ourselves come up with everything that happened in between.
And see how right we were.
See how right we were.
Or I got another idea. We alternate. So we both.
That would be fucking hysterical.
We both watch the season premiere and the series
That's not a
finale.
bad idea either.
But we switch between, and we
Although
we have the bit of having to summarize that episode.
Right, for the other guy.
And see how mad they get.
Here's what I foresee, though. Just my fucking luck. I'll get all the shitty Omega episodes.
And I'll get all the Crosshair episodes.
You'll get all the fucking Crosshair episodes. The fucking, awesome goddamn Clint Eastwood episodes, essentially. And I'll get the little fucking, come on, guys. This person needs our help. Yeah, we just met this person 30 seconds ago. And I know absolutely nothing about him. And in order to help him, we're going to be putting all of our lives in danger. But come on, guys, we can't leave him unattended. Help us. Come on, Hunter. Hunter, we need to help everyone, Hunter.
I feel like the way they've set it up, it might be a lot better than season 2, where they're just going on these random adventures.
I will never forgive all of the writers before season 2 who told us expect great things from season 2 of the Bad Batch, expect it to tie into everything. They sold this like this was going to be the animated series, like season of animated, like better than the 7. Clone Wars and Rebels combined. They sold this like it's going to connect with the sequel trilogy, with the prequel trilogy, with the original trilogy, with the Mandoverse. I'm like, okay. And instead, I got a little pesky fucking, blonde girl fucking guilt tripping these fucking POW guys for fucking a half an hour every week. It was the shittiest season of it's the shittiest thing I've seen of Star Wars since the Ewok special when I was a kid. Looking forward to seeing the Ewoks jam. And I'm saying, what the fuck is the oatmeal guy doing on here? Because Wilford Brimley was in the fucking movie somehow.
Wasn't there like a witch too?
And I said, that's it.
He played like a Grizzly Adams type of guy. And then there was like a witch with a magic ring, right?
Horrendous. And I did watch it. And I said, what is this? It's horrible. So, just letting you know, Bad Batch season 3, again, we're going to watch it. So because we're going to watch it, don't think that I don't want to like it. If they do some fucking crazy-ass turnaround and it becomes a great season, I'm going to be the first one to say this has been great. It's not going to kill the badness of season 2 for me, though. But I'll just be like, fine, I'll just watch season 3 of Bad Batch from now on and forget about the other 2 seasons, except for the show premiere, which had the Order 66. Princess Leia dress, the one that she wore in episode 4, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope, in the hologram?
Yeah.
$1 million they could get at auction. We could raise that kind of dough. Don't you think we should do that?
Better start now.
Can you call your parents real quick while we're on the air?
No.
And try to get some scratch for us for the show?
Don't want to.
I want to put on it. We should at least put in a bid.
$1.
No.
What? $1.
Ask your parents if we can borrow $50,000 right now. Just text your dad.
No, I'm not asking for $50,000 to buy Leia dress.
Come on, it's for Yaddle Chattle.
I don't know why that's not like in the Smithsonian or some shit like that. I feel like it belongs in a museum.
The person can sell it for $1 million. That's why it's not in the Smithsonian.
How did someone sell it in the first place? I feel like George hoards all that shit.
Probably stole it.
That should be on the Skywalker.
Maybe it was the costume designer. And then you know what happens is sometimes people are like, that's Leia's thing. Can I use it or this or that? And then they take off with it. These things get around, my friend.
Yeah, I heard something about that with the Spider-Man out or the Captain America outfit. One of those outfits, one of the Marvel outfits got out.
Now, Disney also says they may have plans for the Star Wars Hotel, which is closing in September because it was a goddamn disaster. Worse than what happened to fucking Alderaan.
Yeah, I'm listening.
What do you think they could do with it?
Sell off all the memorabilia. Try to recruit some of the loss. I mean,
could they do something Star Wars with it, or is it just, hey, let's reboot this as a fucking Pixar hotel and have the chairs in the elevators talk to you as you're going up the elevator? The elevator's got eyeballs, and it's like, "Hi, I'm your elevator. I'm gonna take you to the 6th floor."
Dave, let me ask you, as one of the biggest...
The 6th floor has our beautiful restaurant. And then I'll take you to the 8th floor, which is our pool, our rooftop pool. That would be fun, right? If you had like a Pixar hotel and everything talked to you.
Like John Ratzenberger?
Yeah.
It's just John Ratzenberger.
All you gotta do is put eyeballs on everything and give everything like a little mouth, and then they're good to go. I'd love that. The Pixar Hotel. I'm a chair, Mr. Dave. You're currently sitting on me.
Like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah,
basically.
very much like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I would probably
is there
say,
anything they could do with Star Wars with this hotel?
I can't. Let me ask you a question. Would you shell out $3,600 or however much it costs?
Oh, dude, that's light. I would have maybe, but it was some $5,000, $7,000, $8,000.
But who can afford that for 2 days?
No one.
I mean, that's the whole Disney trip, right?
Disney was straight up assholes with the price point, and Disney's getting more and more obnoxious with how they price things. We know that, you charge a fucking arm and a leg for every last little thing, Disney. Maybe consider being on the planet Earth and not trying to suck every last fucking nickel out of the people who want to experience your magic. What do you say, Disney? You think Walt Disney would be proud of that?
I mean,
that hotel was a piece of shit.
It was all about immersive experience, though. That's why both Disney's
immersive experience that fucking sucked. I saw the clip of fucking Twi'lek doing some sort of song about throw your hands in the air like you just don't care. Oh yeah, that's real Star Warsy. It was just some shitty cruise band that happened to have a Twi'lek lead singer. And they tried to pass that off as like, we're the fucking Jabba the Hutt band. No, you ain't. You're some fucking shitty cruise band playing shitty cruise music who's got a Twi'lek for a lead singer. You ain't fooling Darth David.
I think that they should just focus more on, like, if they want to do immersive experience, an escape room, or focus on fucking VR or augmented reality where you put you actually hold like a fake lightsaber, like a toy like what you have there, but it's just the hilt, and then you put the goggles on, and then you press the button, and the fucking thing shoots out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or you've got like waves of stormtroopers coming, and you've got the bowcaster, and you're trying to take them down, or you're piloting an X-wing. Like that's what I want with an immersive experience. I don't want to stay at a fucking hotel.
Here's all you need to do. Look at the inside of the Millennium Falcon. You make the room like that.
But they did they did that at the Disney World, right? You go inside the Millennium Falcon when you went to Disney?
Wait, you can speak onto the
Sorry,
microphone.
but didn't you go into the Millennium?
Yes, I'm talking about. Have you seen what these rooms look like?
No.
In the Star Wars hotel? Oh God, they're cheap.
They're just cheap hotel
It does
rooms?
no. They try, but it's not Star Wars. It's generic shitty sci-fi. It's like a couple of random stars and a portal, but it's like honestly, it's like Saturday Night Live, coming up with a Star Wars set.
Oh, okay.
It's like an overly large button that they think is, because Star Wars has got lots of buttons, and it looks like fucking shit. It looked like shit.
You ever notice that you don't really see sleeping quarters in Star Wars? Like, you don't see the kind of bedroom Luke had.
Rare. We saw Jyn Erso sleeping when she was in jail that one time?
Yeah, you see them in jail. You see jail cells, and then you see.
And we saw them in Andor. Their little beds in jail,
they sleep in little cubbies. Like
Yeah.
most of these beds.
Although
are
no,
singles.
Andor had a couple of bed scenes. Now that I think about it, he had a couple lady friends over.
Yeah, but
That little rascal.
It looked like a hotel in space. I mean, I don't get it. I'm not that person. Like, I like Star Wars, but I'm not gonna spend thousands of dollars trying to get an immersive experience like that. I'd much rather sit in a recreation cockpit of an
I went
X-Wing.
to the Millennium Falcon. That was cool. The Rise of Resistance ride was cool. You know, the Star Wars land itself, I kind of dug, but I do have, you know, a little bit of a similar criticism that others have, which is their fictional land. No, not money. I still don't know why they didn't go with, you know, having, you know, Tatooine over here, Coruscant over here, you know, another thing over here, you know, Yavin over here. Like, what? Why not every fucking person who has watched Star Wars, who would go to Disney World to go to Star Wars Land?
That's a lot of sand.
Has wanted, no, but the point is, has wanted to live in Star Wars, but they don't want to live in Batuu or whatever the fucking planet is called, this fictional planet. They want to go to Tatooine, to Coruscant, to the Cantina.
That's the kind of immersive experience.
Yes, and all they had to do was split it up, and you're walking into Tatooine, now you're walking into Alderaan, now you're into Coruscant. But instead, it's this generic nameless planet, and it doesn't mean anything because it wasn't in any of the movies. So I'm like, okay, it was great. And the fucking rides are amazing. Star Tours still holds up. The Millennium Falcon was wonderful. And the Rise of Resistance is fantastic.
So did they move Star Tours to Star Wars
No,
Land?
it's still over there.
So you got to go all the way to space.
Yeah, I think.
Future
Unless they had another one. I sort of forget. But it was great. But I'm just saying that was a little quibble.
I mean, they got a lot of property, so who knows if they'll eventually kind of expand it out. But they need money for that. That's the problem, is that they're hemorrhage. We keep hearing all this stuff.
I'll tell you what, if this
money.
Rey movie doesn't hit, they should remake that whole land. I ain't kidding.
What? Because tear down Star Wars Land or
not
it?
do it with fucking episodes 1 through 6 planets. Sorry. Do it. The biggest, most iconic planets from episodes 1 through 6. And by the way, because you haven't been there, when you go there, you know, the people who you see, it's usually Rey and Kylo Ren and stuff. So it's only the sequel people.
They don't have like a shaggy blonde guy dressed like
They
Luke
have
Skywalker.
Chewie, but again, Chewie is hanging out with Rey these days. But you don't get a Palpatine. You don't get a
Leia.
I didn't even see a Vader.
Really?
Now, they used to do the Vader, Jedi thing where he puts on a little show and has kids do the lightsaber treatment. But no, I didn't see Leia. It was sequel characters.
That's what they're pushing.
Yeah. Might not be the best idea.
Well, again.
There's a lot there. There's a lot here, right?
Sure. I think there's a lot of opportunities for them. But again, we're going to have to see how these movies do. Because I just don't think it's a good idea to bank off with a Rey movie first.
I agree with you. I wanted a Finn movie first.
But not even that. But like the way
I want Mangold. But if I said for the sequel characters, it should have been Finn to get the movie, not Rey.
I understand what you're coming out with, like the digestive process of a Star Wars film. But I just feel like if they lead out with something that people are very hesitant about going to see.
Agreed.
I don't know if word of mouth is going to be good enough to get people in the theater then.
I agree.
I think
this is a gamble. This is
a huge gamble.
This is a weird one. Because Kathleen Kennedy didn't need to do this. If they were really smart, they announced 3 movies. Rey would have been the 3rd. Because you want as much nostalgia, so you wanted as much distance from Rise of Skywalker. Yes, you want those kids saying, I miss Rey, and now I'm 25 and I have disposable income. That's what happened with the prequel trilogy is that the kids grew up and then they became 25, 30 years old and they were like, whoa, hold on. You people, like you original trilogy generation might not like the prequel trilogy, but we fucking love it. And they got people, loving the prequel trilogy again. So I think the best way to do that for the sequel trilogy is put as much time that you can between episodes 9 and this Rey movie, in which case they should have let off with Mangold, and then the next one should be the Filoni, and then the third should be Rey.
The way I look at it is they've claimed that the Filoni movie is going to be like what's capping off the Mandoverse, right? We like almost everything that's come out of the Mandoverse, so I want it to carry on for as long as possible. So 2029 seemed like the ideal date to cap off the Mandoverse.
This movie doesn't need to cap it off. You could make a couple of Filoni movies.
I'd be okay with that too.
All right, so let's consider that. Star Wars cage match.
Okay.
Jedi Jared.
Let's do I was thinking, who would win in a fight, Yoda or Yaddle?
Oh my God. I mean, this is very dark. Beautiful married couple, and now you're having it like,
married couples don't fight.
You're having it like Ike and Tina Turner in Star Wars right now.
So what you're saying is that Yoda will beat Yaddle to death?
No. Tina Turner wasn't murdered by Ike. How dare you?
No, you never... So someone, when Ike Turner died, someone put the headline, Ike beats Tina to death. I thought it was one of the best headlines ever.
I get it. The name of the show is Yaddle Chattle, Daddy. And I cannot disrespect that. So while I have lots of respect for Yoda, Yaddle's going to bat some eyelids. She's going to get it done. She's maybe going to lift up a skirt, or like, not a skirt, but like a thing.
A robe.
Like the dress to show off a thigh. She's going to distract him. The way Miss Elizabeth would distract Randy Macho Man Savage's opponents sometimes. She would get on the apron and show her beauty. Okay, and then the opponent would get attacked from behind. That's what Yaddle's going to do. Show her beauty, and then Yoda, when he's got his guard down, she'll zap him with the Force.
I'm going with Yoda because he was the Grand Master after all. Yaddle wasn't.
I mean, you saw Yoda give some pretty decent shit to Dooku.
Yeah, I'm saying if he really...
And that Tales from the Jedi.
I feel like Yoda really does hold back. And that he wasn't ever actually using as much power as he should have.
Both Yoda and Yaddle
Probably
battled Dooku. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, and Yoda survived.
I just fucked my argument up. Give yourself exactly 1 point, I guess.
Thank you, Mr. Champion.
Did you enjoy doing this episode today?
Elements of it, yes.
Why do you always go out like that? Why not try to go out in a happy mood? I thought you had a very rough beginning, and I was questioning your sanity. And I still think
you still have every right to question that.
But I believe that there's something going on. It's sleep deprivation, or now we know that the world is against you. Someone in particular, a friend, has backstabbed you. I'm very curious to hear about this off the air.
Okay. Anyway. You follow Eastside Dave across
so did you
all
enjoy this
social...
episode
Yes,
today?
I did, Mr. Champion. Thank you. You can follow Eastside Dave across all social media platforms.
Go to @Eastside Dave and make sure you're checking out the Patreon @Eastside Dave. He's Jedi Jared. I'm Darth David. Good night.